Peace and blessings, your brother Knowledge Born Allah. Y'all see, I got the masterminds of the masterminds mind where they go to master their minds here in the building right now. And we're going to get into mother. We're going to get into magic. We're going to get into healing. And you know, Nick here, we getting into some mathematics. Okay. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
It's the Mark Booty.
Shit. Nah. Love the royal priesthood. Mark Buddha, Sekou the madman, Killer Priest, Fourth Chambers, Full Fuji. This beat sound like something I wear. You dig? Yo, hold on my people, why you walking around like you equal? They wrote you in as 3/5. What we gonna do about this? Talk too much, you end up like Jimi Hendrix in 27 Club. You want that knowledge? Well, I'm the plug. Knowledge itself is the drug. And I keep dropping the nugs. Culture pushing, wisdom spitting, pimping simpletons into listening. Yawning while you spewing fiction. I can feel the tensions in your intentions. I wonder if that's John's in heaven. If God is white, why he write that bronze was the sun? They give us reparations, that's when the apocalypse begun. Yeah. Red rhyme, okay. Yeah. Red rhyme, better rhyme. Grab your guns, daughters and sons. Wasn't long ago when they had his hung. Blood on the leaves, frontal crumbled in between. Exhale for my ancestors that prevailed. We inhale, so we inhale, dodging death every day. Just happy I'm here to tell the tale. Meanwhile, y'all with the pigs and them tattletales. I'ma just be a scientist if it all fails. Mixing chemicals like a cocktail. My tree smell like it's from the tropical. So not for sale, never settle. Follow the tears on the trail. Nah.
That whole African American thing is to omit, you see, the indigenous black man of this particular land. When we brought the African American term, we cut out all of the Caribbean, all of South America, all of Latin America. This is another way to reclassify you, you feel what I'm saying, outside of power.
We got blacks, whites, brown and yellow. We got red, those with dreads found from the ghetto. We got bullet-led and misled, the smile of the devil. On the face of the moon, heart pound like a rebel. Hear the sound of the metal. War in Iraq, 6 feet underground with the shovel. All over the map, the Bible said signs of the time. The Torah said that's your God, not mine. The Holy Quran says it's all Allah's design. The Buddhist says let's meet at the shrine. Thou shalt not eat of the swine. That Jew is the cut, sure as blue as the blood. Killer priests in the temple, MaWu Roo is the love.
That's a political move that was put in by the government to break you down to this subclass, you see, and not be a world community. So to call you an African American is to disconnect you from that global community and that great diaspora that we were talking about. So that's a political move. Yes, come on. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair.
That's what I'm talking about. So peace and blessings, family. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio. Place where knowledge is born. Your host, Knowledge Born Allah. And I got them right by their pictures. You understand what I'm saying? Won't she do it? Yes, she will. You understand what I'm saying? So we're here to show love. We got the greatest honor and privilege. I got one of my Supreme Queen mothers in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all seen me yesterday. Y'all seen me yesterday minding my business, but y'all ain't seen me. Y'all seen me off of the camera because I ain't want y'all to see the little, you know, leaky parts of my eyes. You know, these eye ducts. You know, sometimes they got water that come out and they just still, you know. Ain't none of y'all business, okay? But I got one of my queen mothers, one of my godmothers, one of my mother supremes. And yes, I said mother, M-U-V-A, mother supremes in the building. A healer, a truth teller, a truth seeker, and one half of the unread, okay? One half of the unread. Queen Mother MaWu Roo in the building of MaWu Lisa Temple. Queen Mother, how you doing?
Peace and love, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Excited to be here. Thank you, Knowledge. You know, I love being on the platform, so I'm excited to be here tonight. And with my brother Nick in the building. So, you know, we here. It's late night. It's late night for us. You know, we be doing unread all early and everything. Here. So this is our late night talk.
Right there, right? So the other half of unread. You know, these are the two best parts of the bread and the loaf. You understand what I'm saying? No end pieces over here. No end pieces unless you like end pieces. Okay, but the best parts of the loaf together, unread book club, and so many other places I can't even name. The brother that has been on my scheduled calendar the mostest, okay? And if you think I'm playing, we're gonna see him again in a couple more days. You understand what I'm saying? Couple more days, couple more days, couple more days. But we here to talk about a couple more days after that. So uh, the one who helps us to navigate and traverse this universe via our best self, via the magical manifestation of mathematics known to the world as master numerologist. Today, I ain't gonna bother him because I'm just feeling so Jersey because we just got Jersey in the building. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about, we got Jersey in the building all day, every day. You understand what I'm saying? We actually like Newark folks, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like Newark folks that happen to be in Jersey. You understand what I'm saying? And Mr. Westbrook is from the other end. You understand what I'm saying? From that other end. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them N words. You understand what I'm saying? But we love him in Newark anyway, regardless to whom or what. He done taught all of our children, so I can't say nothing about where he's from. He a brick city dude. You understand what I'm saying? It becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some to others. A masterful mastermind, masterful educator here in the building. Mr. Supreme Numerics himself, Mr. Westbrook, aka Pretty Nicky, what they call him. You understand what I'm saying? Pretty Nicky, what they call him. Okay, Pretty Nicky, what they call him.
You know, MaWu love that one right there. She love that name right there.
Woo. My brother, how you doing? How you feeling?
That one.
Look, as soon as I said Pretty Nicky, what they call him, look at God is right here. Okay.
Popping up.
See?
Yeah, okay. Is there hard in the house tonight? Yes, she is. Stand up. Okay. Oh, and King Adonis in the building. You know, look, shit ain't a please. He like, hold up, I'm here. I'm here too, fam.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, yeah, we know Adonis is everywhere all the time in every place at the same time. I don't even know how he be doing that.
He like, you got 7 chats? I'm gonna say something in all 7 of these chats. Let's go. All right, let's do it. Yeah. So how y'all feeling?
Wonderful, man. It's beautiful. It's a great time to be alive. For everyone who celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, in a formal or informal manner, I just want to say, sending love to all of your hearts. I don't know. This year was different for me, so it's like, oh, okay. But the energy is good. I feel good. I don't know where spring is at, but I'm here. You know what I mean? We had to turn the heat on the other day. I was like, what is going on? You know what I'm
bringing it, baby. They're like,
but I'm here though. So
yeah,
I'm excited to be here. And I'm just glad again, like I said, to be on the platform tonight to share with people what we got coming up, because we are excited about our spring schedule and some of the offerings that we have coming up, in the near future and a little bit further out into the summer and things like that. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes. And I echo that sentiment. I'm feeling all wise and civilized. And, even though I keep on bumping into Knowledge Born in the kitchen, great times, it's always a pleasure to hang out with the Do the Knowledge Radio family / the Killer Priest Podcraft / Wednesday
Pronoia Star /
yep.
Everywhere. We just everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, everywhere. Yep. And I'm not getting weary doing a good work, because the physical fatigue may be settling in, but I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm feeling energized and within my spirit about the work that we're doing, all the things that we have going on and have coming up this season. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to talk to you all about what we got coming up this weekend. Counting down the days.
Yes.
Yes. So if I could ask y'all, we just be going around in circles and just be like boom, boom, boom. We just be everywhere and we be in everybody's intersectionality. I know how far we go back, right? Us, because we met in a similar place at the spot. We was all in the spot, and the spot was popping, and the spot was hot. You understand what I'm saying? So I know we met, but we here in y'all honor today. So how far do y'all go back? I don't know if we ever talked about that.
Ooh, I don't know, but I can tell you how it started over books.
This started with books. And I'll say
it started with books.
Not Spades books, right? Y'all was like real books, like
it started with books.
These things,
those things that we have everywhere,
everywhere,
stacks and stacks and stacks of them everywhere. But no, I had we had followed. I think we were following some of the same people, in terms of like esoteric pages and things like that. He would repost things. I would repost things. We seem to be in the same circles of people. And eventually I sent out some invitations and he accepted. And from there, it's been years now. I mean, years. So we've been in there, but we've been doing Unread for some time now. And I've really enjoyed that. But we've done lots of work together. Niggas helped me in the healing chambers. He's come out to many of the live events that I've had. We've traveled, places like Rochester and Syracuse up that way to go. I work in the ag department. So he, has went with me to some of the sustainable programs that we've been talking about, uplifting fallen humanity by building places and spaces for us to not only live, but to grow our own food. So he's gone with me on a lot of those adventures. And so it's only natural that I share, some of the rewards, which are watching our people, really begin to reap the benefit of what we're out there in these streets doing. So we've been doing it for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I do have an approximate date because I remember the post, the specific book. So that's why I turned my camera off. I went to the shelf to go grab it real quick. But I remember the specific book that started it all, pretty much.
Yes.
And I remember, and it's one of those books where you remember the exact time, place, and space that you were when you got it. And I remember reading it not too long after I got it. So I'm able to approximate when we met and started connecting. This goes back to approximately circa 2019. About 2019, definitely around that pre-pandemic time, but this was the book that started it all right here. That's the book.
That's one of my favorite books.
The Masonic.
And that's what I told him too. I was like, that's one of my favorite books.
Yeah. The Masonic Compass and Square and their connection to measurement and timekeeping.
That's Abdullah.
Yep, Abdullah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I ain't even need to see. Once I looked a little bit, I was like, "Yep, that's Abdullah work. I know that work."
Yep. So this was the book that started. But like Roo said, we probably were following the same pages, the same kind of content. But as far as us directly interacting with each other, it started with that book. She came across that post because I post all my books after I read them. So she definitely commented on the book, reached out in the DMs and all of that, and it started from there. So yes, all three of us met in the spot on Clubhouse. As a matter of fact, I think it was MaWu that brought me to Clubhouse, because I remember when Clubhouse started, everybody was talking about it, and I really didn't have any interest in joining it. I heard about it when you had to be invited, and I did have some, a couple people that sent me invitations, but I was like, I'm all right. But when MaWu told me to pull up to the spot, she sent me an invitation. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get on Clubhouse. And to be honest, I really only get on Clubhouse when something is happening in the spot. I got the app going on, but I don't be in them rooms. Only when the spot is open. but yes, we did the healing chambers on Due to Knowledge Radio, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We did the healing chambers. We talked about nurturing on the healing chambers on Due to Knowledge Radio some years back. We talked about emotional intelligence on the spot. That might have been that very first session was that topic of emotional intelligence. Of course, we've been doing unread. We've been doing unread for a couple of years now. I know we're up to episode 40 something, maybe like 44.
44.
Yeah, I think we're episode 44 is coming up. Whenever that next episode is. So we've been doing that. And you had and I forgot the name of the event that you the lecture and the presentation that you did at the library a couple of summers ago. But I came to support you at that presentation, and you came to support me at 2 of my numerology presentations. So now we come together and we're doing a presentation together. Full cipher moment right there.
Absolutely.
See what happened when all them twos get together? 22, 2, 2. You see that? You see how it go? That's a lot of twos. Okay, that's 22.
It is a lot of twos.
But y'all mofos. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. And
she the Aquarian, and then I'm the 22. 2 + 2 = 4, and 4 rules Aquarius. You know.
Get that knowledge down there with the 2 too. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of twos. You understand?
It's a lot of twos.
A lot of twos up in there. A
lot of positive
that
energy.
2 + 2 + 2 + 2 equals a lot of twos. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a lot of nurturing. You realize that, right? You got 3 nurturers here. So it's all about that nurturing. And I see them twos on there, Nick.
I don't want that to let out that I be nurturing, because somebody might try me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Listen, they'll be better for it if they let you.
Hey, let me tell you something. The alternative ain't too good. The alternative ain't too good. Ain't nobody on this screen just gonna let you slide. You understand what I'm saying? They might slide you quicker than they'll let you slide. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
But and it ain't gonna be the electric slide. Okay, you might feel a shock, but it won't be the electric slide. Let me tell you something. Tell you. So yes.
Before you ask the next question, Roo, you said you saw the twos on my shirt. Now, what you said on multiple occasions is that me and you are always, what'd you say? We're always in sync?
Always in sync.
Now what does this 222 says? It says alignment for 222 on this shirt. Always in alignment.
Always in alignment. And it's so strange, because when we first started doing unread, I think that was the thing that I enjoy even still the most, is that we never know what the other one is going to bring, but we always end up bringing books that correlate with the same kind of either subject matter or there's something that it reinforces the other one. So it's amazing. I love it. I think now at this point, I'm just always amazed to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm the other two, the two connected with MaWu Roo's too. So 22 over here, 22 over here, right? And you said alignment, right? You know my theme song on Pronoia is "Me and God Always in Alignment."
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Right.
You understand what I'm
it.
saying? So it's like, look, that universal alignment. So back to what you said, Queen Mother, about, you know, that's a lot of nurture. Okay.
It is.
That's a lot of nurture.
And in a world where it's so not that, we are true gifts. And that's saying with no ego attached. We are something soft in a world that is very hard.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, if you see that graphic behind you, you got twos up there. You see that? You got three twos right there, visibly, right by your head over there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like
right there,
yeah.
Look.
Yep, I see him up there, and I see that the doors open at 2 p.m. also.
Right.
Yes, look at that.
Right.
See?
Right, and it's a 2 in the phone number. You said the 2 I started looking around what you said. Oh, whatever number it is, just start following you around. I'm like, man, I got 2s in my Social Security. I got 2s over here, 2s over here. You know what I'm saying? 2. Wait in T. But you know how they say in Baltimore, T. The cheese. The cheese. Okay.
We love to choose.
Yeah, don't be making fun of Dr. Maat.
You know what's funny about that? After this episode, I'm doing my guest of the month monthly daily content for the month of May, and Dr. Maat is my subject guest profile.
Look at that. Look at that.
How about that? So,
look at that for divine alignment.
We
wow.
We're around here with these cheese, okay? That's what it do with the cheese. Okay.
Do with the cheese. Yes.
Love it.
Oh man, I'm telling you. So tell us
what
about
happened when you let us all be in the same space. You know what it is.
Right. It turned into the spot. This ain't doing knowledge, it's the spot right now.
Hey, listen. And let me just say, Knowledge Born, you always support everything that we do at MaWu Lisa Temple. And I am so appreciative. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, you give your full support. And that is so appreciated. You bring the whole Do the Knowledge family wherever you go. And I love being a part of your life. And I love that you're a part of mine. And so, yeah, let's continue to nurture and love on folks. That's right, baby. That's right. Yeah. But you always do. You know, I was having some technical difficulties, right? And I was looking through my old stuff, and I saw like where you had did like a healing chambers for me. And my computer kept messing up. You did not let that episode die. You kept it going. So I was like, look at this. I'm like, you always been so supportive.
Warren's on. Okay, look.
You always been so supportive. And that's when I was higher up in the mountain. Nick, you remember my connection was every 5 minutes it was getting cut off.
Yeah,
I was even higher in the mountain now. Since I came down the mountain a little bit, my reception has gotten a bit better, but we still be doing the things. So, but I just want to say thank you. Your support means everything, and we appreciate it. Believe me.
I'm offended otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? I'm offended otherwise. If I don't get an invitation to promo greatness, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't get an invitation to promo and bear witness to God in that sense, I'll be like, so, Mr. Westbrooks, hey, how you doing? So he's like, yeah, peace, guys. So, you said you put out the Dream Dollars and Destinies podcast and 10 o'clock. Then you said we pre-record, so we're gonna have it out, And he was like, we people was leaving out and we was coming in and I said, Pretty Nick, you done messed up, right? You done messed up. You done messed up, right? Do Nas ain't getting no promo show, right? Killer Freak podcast ain't getting no promo show. I said, so you and Queen Mother doing the show? He said, yeah. Do it live? Yeah. In Jersey? Yeah. So no promo show? We ain't get none of that. We ain't get none of that. He was like, let me talk to the Queen Mother. I'll get back to you. And I was like, all right. I just had to sit on my hands and wait. Understand? Hey, yo, let's make that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all good. And Queen Mother be so humble. She was like, just tell the brother it's okay if we don't get a promo show. As long as he shares the flyer out, it's all right. Shares it on his platform.
I'm not trying to apply no pressure.
Y'all got privilege. There's no need for pressure when there's privilege. You understand?
I say.
No need for pressure when you got privilege.
Yes, put that one down. That was beautiful.
There's no need for pressure when there's privilege.
Yes. A knowledge bornism.
Oh, snap. Is there heart in the house tonight?
Yes, there is. I want to say shout out to the audience. I don't know who out there, but good evening, everyone. Thank you for being with us. I hope to see some of you out at Refal headquarters on Saturday.
Hey. So let's talk about it. Yes. And it's free. Woo. It's
yes,
my
it
heart.
is.
It's free. It is free. Okay. Free.
That's $3. $3.
$3.99. Okay.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm. So talk to us about Refall. Give us the backstory. Talk about this event. Let's do what we got to do about what we're doing when we're doing what we do.
Nikki, go ahead and you can get started because it's because of you we're gonna be down there.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll give the background and then you can give the what you envision when you brought this recommendation for us to put on this program. So MaWu, and then also you can give your experience with Refal from way back when. So
all right, all right now. Don't talk about how old I is.
Listen. That's a compliment right there, Goes to show that you've been doing this work. Like you ain't new to this, you true to this.
I say yes.
But I became introduced to Refal from watching some of our master teachers come and visit the center, particularly my teacher and colleague Lloyd Strayhorn. And once I attended a couple of his talks and lectures over at Refal, that's when I discovered that this is a whole community center owned and operated by melanated people, and they bring all sorts of dynamic speakers and master teachers through from all levels and all stages, from the master teachers that have been doing the work for decades, all the way to those who are just getting started in their journey. So after a couple of visits to Refal to hear Lloyd Strayhorn speak, and after Brother Lloyd certified me to be a professional numerologist, he told the folks over at Refal, brother, shout out to Brother Ka, Brother Brian, Candy, and all the other folks over at Refal, all the elders there. Lloyd told Brother Ka, this is my astronumerology colleague. You need to book him to do some lectures here. And just on the strength of that, he was like, it's done. Let's make it happen. So that was in March. And then by the time June came around, I did my first presentation there on the numerology of Juneteenth last June. Roo came through. She got reintroduced to the new folks at Refal because it's the different folks from the time that she attended, lectures there and did work with the folks there, with the brothers and sisters there. And then I did another lecture this past April on the spring equinox and the energy of spring in the month of April. And I think it might have been then that we started planning for this event, or it might have been a little bit earlier before that. But that's the part where I get a little fuzzy on the details. But Roo, Mama Roo, you can provide the rest of the backstory with that, of how we came up with this idea to honor the mothers and choosing Refal, or Refal choosing us to host this presentation and this event.
Absolutely. Thank you. So it's funny because one of my daughters just had solar return celebration. She turned 30, and my other daughter just had one and she turned 40, and she'll be turning 40. And so I remember one of my first events at Temple of the Ancient Ones, which is on Littleton Avenue, which is not far from Refal. Queen Afua was coming to town, and she had just done her first book, and my oldest daughter was excited, and I was excited, and we went and we met some amazing people, and I met people from Refal who had come down to give their support, and we stayed connected. And at the time they had just started a Kemetic yoga certification there. So this was 1999. This is 1999. Hey. And in 1999, everybody was preparing for the world to end for 2000. And so there were a lot of places offering things like survival courses and all of this other stuff like that. And it was a brother there, brother Tahari, who was one of my yoga students. I was working for Powerhouse Gym at the time. He was one of my yoga students, and he told me about the Kemetic yoga, and I went over to Refal, and I fell in love. And the same thing that made me fall in love then is what felt so good when I came back to support you in the space, is that it is run by the elders. And I've always worked with elders. I worked in senior care for 28 years. And so being around the elders, I know the benefit of just being in the space with them. And so being in a space where we are talking about, high science, regardless of what aspect of the metaphysical world is talking about, the science of religion, the science of living, the science of life, you're able to get that there at Refal. And that was one of the things that I loved. When I came to support you there, I noticed in the room that it was a lot of elder mothers. And in our tradition, we all know, in the African tradition, African spirituality, before we begin to speak, we ask for permission. And so when Nick offered me the opportunity to get up and introduce myself, I asked for permission to speak, and I sort of looked on the elders' faces. They was like, "Oh, this girl, she knows what she's talking about." So one of the elder mothers stood up and gave me permission to speak, and I just, I felt like here's a space that not only honors the opportunity to continue the lessons from the cradle to the grave, but they honor the elders who will, provide us with wisdom to help us to navigate from the cradle up to where they are if we're fortunate. So, I tell people to get old is a privilege, especially when you look like we do. And so years ago, I had a a small podcast that I was trying to do. It was called Shrewd Observations, and it was things that my mother had told me that, you know, I slept on when I was a young girl, because, you know, when you're young, you think you know everything. So you got all this wisdom being thrown into you, and it's sitting in there, but it's kind of going out your other ear too. So you know, when you get older, you start to recognize and live life, and these things start to come back to you. So I was doing these shrewd observations, things my mommy told me. And so when we were there at Refal, and we were talking about Mother's Day and the wisdom of the great mother, I saw an opportunity for us to not only come together and honor mother towards what they consider Mother's Day, but also take that as an opportunity to introduce or reintroduce the importance of intergenerational connection. You know, we've gotten very cliquish in our lives here, and that happens. You know, the young people want to be with the young people, and etc., etc. But it's the mixed company that allows us to be able to truly reap some of the benefits from the people who have already done what it is we're trying to do, and that's just live. And they've done it well. I've never seen more people over the age of 60 that look as good as the ones at Refal. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you got 70-year-olds like leading martial arts classes 3 times a week. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing place to be. They have something to do every day. They offer it free to the community. And I mean, what better way to honor that space than to go and give a presentation that talks about the wisdom that comes from the mothers that support the children that come through that space. And we are all their children. So you know, it is my honor and privilege to be able to present there, you know, this topic. And when I presented it to Nick, that was just pretty much what I said, is that I'd like to give back something to the elders. And we have some other things in store as well, but that's still under wraps. But for now, this is our way of not only just honoring Mother, but honoring the space of Refal headquarters and all that they do and have done in the community.
Yes, beautifully said. All right. Yeah, I'm like, come on now, where the bombs at?
You already know, I had to wait strategically, okay? Because I don't know if y'all realized, like, it was a delay when we started, like a tiny delay. Like, I had clicked on the video, and it was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 on my end anyway. But it might have started for y'all immediately, but for me, it was a little delay. So I'm like, all right, let me make sure there's no delay over here. Understand what I'm saying? So, our sanctuary spaces, you know, in regards to preserving our story, preserving our history in its text, and then transgenerationally, an inheritance that goes from one generation to the next is remarkable, especially with all of the atrocities and all of the negativity that's said about this county that we come from. You know, I say we from Newark, but we're really from Essex County, and then we just start adding in all of the other adjacent counties that keep on going all the way up this way, that way, this way, that way. You understand what I'm saying? So hence we from Jersey, because we be from everywhere, every part of it. And then we start sliding into New York over here. You understand what I'm saying? Sliding into Philadelphia over here, sliding into Delaware over here, sliding into the Carolinas. We just be like, summer everywhere. So to see something continuously be preserved and then inherited and preserved. The first place I ever got taken to get a haircut, right there on Central Avenue. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of my mother giving us some haircuts, you know, we got 4 boys, you know. And everybody ain't going to the barbershop. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, mommy was the barbershop with that brush that was made of adamantium. If you moved your hair and she pops you with that mug on your head, and you got a speed knot on your head that she got to cut around. You understand what I'm saying? So that barbershop on Central Avenue is still there. It's still right there, and it's got to be at least 65 years old. Got to be 65 years old because I went there as a young man, and when I went back there, I was like, "Yo, you remember that place? It's still there." She had took me back. My mother took me back. God rest her, man. I'll be pleased with her. She took me back, and the guy that was there, who used to sweep up in the shop, we thought was the son of the owner, and he was a brother that was on the street and who used to sleep in the barbershop. He detoxed in that barbershop. And he's still in that barbershop. He went from somebody who needed a place to stay, there working, and got transformed by the environment and the love of this elder who brought him in like a son.
Yeah.
You know, my mother was like, I thought that was your father. He's like, he might as well have been. And he told us his story. And he was there for 50 years. You understand what I'm saying? And it's still up. So I know it got to be at least 65 years or more. And he, continues tradition. There's young people in there who learned the craft how to cut from a place that he was going in there just to try to get somewhere warm, to sweeping up the floors, to staying there, to, learning the craft of the barbershop right there. He didn't go to barber school. He went to school right there. You understand what I'm saying? And 50 years of experience. You ain't gonna sit in this chair and get a cut. Please. So those are the traditions, right? From them little, it looked like hole in the wall shops, right? You might blink and miss it. But the historicity that's there, you never know until you walk in and have a discussion, to build, to add on with somebody. So I had been going there since I was a little miscreant. You understand what I'm saying? A little miscreant, snotty-nosed miscreant to, grown men. And he's seen people come in as children and then come in with their children. So all of these things happen, right? And it's, right there on Central Ave. You see what I'm saying? So, on that side, you just never know what you run into or who you're going to run into in that regard all the way through. So I know y'all going to bring y'all whatever's listed, but let's talk about what's not listed. What can the people expect who make this journey so desirous to come into attendance? What could they expect to receive from both you masterminds?
Nick?
Okay. You want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I can run my mouth, but go ahead now.
All right. Well, in a broad view, because I'm still fine-tuning the offering, but in the broad view, I will be bringing the numerical perspective and vibration of wisdom of the mother, MaWu said. So if you're new here and you haven't seen me on this platform before or any other platform speaking about numerology, most people who are familiar with numerology know that there's numbers in your birthday. Most people are familiar with the life path number. But what a lot of people are not familiar with are the vibrations of words and phrases from a numerical perspective, meaning that each letter of the alphabet, depending on which alphabet you use, carries a numeric vibration. So a primary part of my offering will be applying the numerical values of this title that you see here, the key terms in this title. If you remember from your English language arts class in school, and they gave you the grammar rules about what to capitalize in the title, they tell you to capitalize the most important words in the title, not every single word, like you don't capitalize your us and does and all of that. So I'll be picking out the key terms, the key words in this title, such as Umi, such as wisdom, such as mother, Umi, wisdom, mother, and I'll be breaking down the numerical value of each of those words and what is the meaning of those words as it relates to their connotative and denotative definitions that you read in the dictionary, and also those social meanings, as well as this when you calculate the sum total of those letters of those words, what do they add up to, and what does that number mean? And I gave the family a preview of that on my last appearance on Pranoia Star C podcast back on May 2nd. On Pranoia, the month of May is for mothers. So I kicked off that month with a breakdown on the numerical vibration of the word mother. And I show how the sum total from one alphabet, one numerology alphabet, the Chaldean system, how that added up to the number 27. And I broke down what the meaning of the number 27 was as it relates to mother. And when you add that compound number 2 plus 7 together to equal 9, what does the number 9 mean as it relates to the meaning of mother and what it means to be a mother? So I'll be speaking at length on that. And I might also go into some text. I'm thinking about reflecting on a meditation that I wrote several years ago after listening to a sermon, a Mother's Day sermon. And I believe it came from the book of Proverbs, but it was speaking about the story of King Lemuel's mother. So I might bring that out as well to supplement and complement the numerical breakdown of the wisdom of the mother. So that's what I'll be bringing.
Yeah, see, this is why you hang out with nerds. This is why you hang out with the nerds. This is why, y'all. You get this kind of stuff at 10:30 at night. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
I want to talk about these numbers real quick, Mother, if I could, before
absolutely
you give us a mummification. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A homification. Mr. Westbrooks, aka Pretty Nikki, what they call him. These numbers say so many things to me personally. I know that these numbers were not haphazardly placed in the sequential order that I see across this thing here. So if you could acquaint us just a tiny bit with these numbers, and if you allow me a little bit after, I got a couple of things that I see on this this number line right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and like I said, I had absolutely no input into the numbers that were placed on this flyer here.
Really? Nothing?
No whatsoever. But I noticed that they're not in order, and I also noticed that the number 3 is missing, which is interesting. The number 3, and I think that might be the only number that's missing. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, every number's up there except the number 3, which is interesting. I'm not sure what that's about, but I will say that in numerology, the cycle goes from 1 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 being the beginning, where the seed is planted, all the way up to the number 9, where you have the manifestation or the dream fulfilled, as we call it. So these numbers, they occur in cycles and sequences, and we all have our own cycles and sequences of universal cycles and personal cycles. And it follows a progression. You plant the seed at 1, then it starts to germinate and grow with 2 and 3, and then you get halfway through the numerical sequence, which is around your 5s and your 6s, and that is your turning point or your crossroads or your changes, where you pause, you take inventory, and you determine whether you need to make adjustments or make changes on your trajectory. And then once you come out of the turning point, you build up towards the closing of the cycle there. So even though we all have our personal numbers and our name and our birthday, our most immediate number being the day of the month that we're born on, and then also the numbers in our name denoting our talents, traits, natural abilities, all of the numbers are our numbers, because at some point we are going to experience an interface with each number from 1 to 9. Everybody's going to go through a 1 personal year, 2 personal year, 3 personal year. You might even go through a master number year. Now, those are less frequent and less common, but you can experience those as well. So the numbers that we see in front of us on this flyer are just a representation of all of the cycles and sequences that we go through, and recognizing and understanding that even though we have our personal numbers, all of the numbers are ours at some point in time.
Let me drop this bomb for you, sir. Yes, you. I'm going to tell you that except for 2 digits, my entire social security number is on there.
Wow.
I'm trying to know that. So I'm going to deal with May 14th, 1985. May 14th, 1985. May 14th, 1985. May 14th, 1985, in the city of Philadelphia. Young Black men, women, and children of the African family, their houses were firebombed by the city of Philadelphia. May 14th, 1985. If you could look on here, you could see 1985 on there, May 14th, right? 27 is representative of the 27 Club. The 27 Club was a list of not magicians, there might as well have been magicians, musicians, and celebrities who passed away at the age of 27. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, and a host of others. So they say, hey, you made it to the 27 Club, right? And the 27th is when my educator was born. 27th of May. 1959 was the first time that Alhaji Malik Al-Shabazz brother Wali, affectionately known to the world as Minister Malcolm X, had went to Mecca for the first time in 1959. They talk about 64. You still see 6 and 4 on here, right? That's the trip that they say that he made. But my imam that taught him Islam properly outside of the confines of the Nation Islam, Hisham Al-Jabba, may Allah be pleased with him, taught Malcolm from 1959 to 1965. He wrote this little pamphlet back in the day called I Bury Malcolm X. He did his janazah. He washed his body. He prepared his body to go into the earth. 1965. You see a 6 and a 5 right there also, right? 1968, April 4th, 1968, at the Lorraine Motel, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot in the head. He did not die on those hotel steps. He died in the hospital later on, which we will find out later on. But 1968. Right? So these numbers have a significance by which we give them the opportunity to come to life. Hajj Gas Bass, Brother Omar Wali, actually known to the world as Minister Malcolm X, was born on May 19th. See, May 19th. Okay. His wife is the love of his life, the apple of his eye. Dr. Betty Shabazz, may Allah be pleased with her, was born 9 days later. You see the number 9 on the 28th of May. So when we assign the proper properties to these things that we see, they don't appear random. They appear righteously in a whole nother direction. You know, in October of 1968, during the Olympics of 1968, John Carlos and Tommy Smith raised their hand in a stance of peace, and it was taken as an act of war. They were stripped of their medals and never invited again to return to the Olympics of any fashion. They lost everything that day. They said they were praying the Lord's Prayer and in solid solidarity asking for peace on earth. But it was associated with an act of rebellion after the martyrdom of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So 14, 27, 59, 68. Or if I went 1, and then I went 42, then I went 75, then I went 96, then I went 8, I would have went in a whole other direction. You understand what I'm saying? So the numbers were speaking because there are lives that are associated with and contracted in the physical world. We got the significant emotional events, lives and transitions, all in these numbers that are here that exists. So just that relationship. If I put the 3 on there, I probably would have started, something in my ear, eye ducts would have, you know what I mean? Because, my mother was born on May 31st. Not May, June. Not June. What I'm saying, May and June for January 31st. Okay? Look,
you better
I'm
get that
right,
Aquarius her space, yo.
right? So, she had us. You know what I'm saying? She had us. So I'm thinking about people's birthdays. My niece is born on June 1st, and that's my mother's other birthday, because I'd be doggone if that ain't her showing back up, talking noise. All right? So a piece of her can stay with us because she got to upgrade to belong to the world. She's a universal mother now. A universal mother responsible for healing, and especially when it comes to children and these vaccinations and all of these other things. She got a promotion to eradicate that. So she's a universal name to be called on. So she went from MaWu said to Aumi said in the world, right? So all of these numbers, they come together, January 31st, 1954. So right there, the numbers are speaking, all right? So I'm going to be quiet if I get popped in the head. Y'all heard it say, y'all better get that Aquarius.
Give her props.
Moving your head. I'm over here tender-headed and I ain't got no hair. You understand what I'm saying? I'm tender-headed and I ain't got no hair. So we mother.
I love your breakdown, and it's so funny because numerology is one of those things where when you love it, you just love it, and you see it, and everyone see is different. And coming from a little bit of a background with the Nation of Gods and Earth, our see on things is amazing, because you can have two people looking at the same exact thing and their breakdowns will be crazy different, but crazy relevant regardless. So before, if I may, I'd like to give my little amateur, input on these numbers on this flyer, because when I got to see the flyer, I saw the same
Nick, you
thing.
hear that? She said amateur thing. Check it out. Check out now. Check out now.
Mhm.
All right, so when I saw the flyer, and again, shout out to Refal. We are memorialized now because they have bunches of these flyers with some of our master teachers on them. So it's an honor to be up on one of these flyers with them. So Nick, you and your numbers right here, you're gonna be famous forever, brother. But what I saw when I was looking at these was this, in relevance to what we'll be talking about. So one, and again, I'm coming from Supreme Mathematics, coming over the Nation of Gods of Earth. Shout out to the Nation of Gods of Earth. Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. So one is knowledge, right? And so you look at this, we in this space and we come in here for knowledge. And once you get knowledge, it gives you a type of freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because you learned about your culture and your freedom. So that's where your 4 drop in. You know what I mean? So now that you got some knowledge, you know what I'm saying, you got a little bit of freedom to be able to explore that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You come up with some wisdom, and that's that number 2. That reflective number. And you start to reflect about, well, if I got this time and I've learned this about myself in this time and this little bit of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You start to recognize you might be more than what you thought you were. And you realize the 7, you God. Hey, you God. You see what I'm saying? You God. And not only are you God, you got power. Because that's 5 is coming up in there and show you what kind of power you got. And when you got power, and when you got knowledge, and when you got wisdom, and you got some space, you can be and born things. So that 9 pop in there like bam. So now those uneven scales that we was dealt at the beginning of our lives become equal because that 6 is equality. And what do? We take that equality and we build and we destroy. We build the paradise in the world that we want to see, and we destroy the illusion that's all around us and truly embrace who we are. And that 3 that's missing will allow us a different level of understanding so we can move to the next level, because there's levels to this thing. So that's my...
One time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay.
Listen, I love them ciphers in the park, y'all.
That's it.
Love them ciphers in the park. But thank you for letting me share that, because that just it tickled me when I first saw it, and I love the colors, because I can give you a breakdown on the colors too, because them colors is on time. I don't know who did the flyer, but they did it.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah. Because that red one is the root chakra.
Break it down. Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the knowledge lies. The knowledge lies in the kundalini at the bottom of the root. You know what I'm saying? Boy, don't get me started on this. This is what I do.
Come on. Let's go. I ain't got nowhere to be. Okay. After y'all, I told you I got to do a program after y'all done.
Nah, but it's a beautiful flyer, and it looks so simple, but it's so beautiful. And I love what Nick is gonna be sharing, in that space, and the vibration of mother, because that's kind of where my talk begins, is the first sounds, the first voice, the first thing that we hear is mother. And not only mother, but mother in her voice, mother in her heartbeat, mother in her waters flowing, all these things. These are the first contacts that we have. And so these are things that she says to us without words, and as we begin to grow, when we come into this world and we begin to grow, manifest,
There's many words said to us. There's many things said to us. Sometimes we don't know what sticks until it shows up later on. And this is why when we speak truth and when we speak words, we should be speaking seeds of truth and seeds of growth and seeds of positivity into people, so that later on they will grow and blossom into things that will not only benefit them in their walking journey, but also in the walk that they're doing, you know, in the larger picture, which is fallen humanity and helping to uplift it, do their part. Because you can't do your part unless you are doing the part of taking care of you, because that's where it begins. And Umi teaches that. And you know, when we were thinking about the title, when I was thinking about the title, at first I was gonna put my mother said, like I did with the shrewd observations. But what I thought about was the double M's in Umi, because see, Umi is an Arabic word, so you can spell it with one M and put a shudda over it. And I thought that was interesting that you put a shudda over it because it's shudda. Or you can put two M's and it does the same thing. So I looked at the two M's as reflections, as mirrors, because when you put them like this, they reflect each other. When you put them like this, they reflect each other. When you put them like this, they reflect each other. And when you put them like this, they reflect each other. So regardless of where you are in your journey, you know what I'm saying, some part of mother is shining through. It doesn't matter whether your relationship, your physical, actual relationship with mother is one way or the other. We are talking about something much deeper, much more spiritual, much more universal. And this is where some of these lessons come from. Because if we think about some of the things that our mothers tell us, they told us, but they wasn't practicing it themselves. Because if they was, they would have had a whole different walk. So they telling you from experience. You know what I'm saying? They telling you from the things they did and the things they didn't do. But more than anything else, they're allowing you an insight that they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Or an opportunity that they didn't have, for you to be able to navigate your journey in a better way and manifest again what it is you want to see and be in the world. So you know, sharing, you know, this wisdom of mother, we'll be talking about some actual sayings, things like "you ain't got no friends." That was one of my mother's favorites. That was one of her favorites. When I'd be like, "My friend said you ain't got no friends." You know, she let you know quick. And I didn't know what she meant by that, and she didn't try to explain. But I could promise you this: at this young tender age, I know now. You know what I'm saying? What she meant. You know, and you know that, you know, saying things like this is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. Like all kinds of little sayings that we just, you know, just slip by, go by, because these are the things mother always says. But again, you know, these things have importance and they do take root in us, whether in a positive way or a negative way, because some of the things that mother said damage people. You know, something, you know, everybody's not the same. So, you know, what one child can receive as, you know, praise, another one can receive as criticism. And so, again, this begins to talk about our personal walk with the things that our mother said. You know, when I thought about the title, again, I thought about the noble brother Yasin Bey. Shout out to Yasin. You know, he's talking about my Umi said, shine your light on the world, you know, and many of us don't even know what our light is. We don't even know how to access our light. And so I thought about that, and I thought about the things that we, you know, walk on this journey that allow us to become brighter and brighter. You know what I mean? And that means that we have to burn bright sometimes. And that comes with growing pains. And mother even teaches us about those growing pains in the vibration of and in the actual act of giving birth. You know, when we give birth to things, we don't just give birth to babies, we give birth to ideas, you know, to opportunities, you know, and all kinds of things. So again, picking this topic and using this topic, wisdom of the mother, I thought it would be appropriate for Mother's Day. I thought it would be appropriate for spring, since people are doing a lot of the transformation work We are coming up out of that cold period, and we're going into this warmer supposed period. It was cold the other day. Temperature, get yourself right. But you know, but what I'm saying is that we are taking the opportunity and the vibration of this time of year and allowing it to mother us, usher us, nurture us, and prepare and get strong in the sun, because we got to remember the sun is coming. You know what I'm saying? Gemini season is coming, you know, and when we get to the summer, you know what I mean? When we get to the summer and that sun starts to shine and be out for hours and hours at a time, giving strength to what it is that we pull to the top. So again, we want to take our wisdom and bring it to the front line so that sun can nurture it and it can grow. And then it's time to harvest in the fall. We'll have something substantial to go into the winter with. So again, we work in seasons. MaWu Lisa Temple, we love working in seasons. And this has set us right on course for the switches and the changes that we'll be doing this year. We actually usually do retire your family karma. Nick, you've done that with us a couple of times. And I'll tell you, the transition that'll be taking place this year is so nice and so apropos to what we are doing here in this space of what our Omi said. And just know it's some of what our Pop said in there too. But what Pop said is a little more slick than what Mama said. Pop taught us some of that slick talk. So we're going to talk about that when we talking about the Pops. But right now we talking about that wisdom of mother and that nurturing of mother from conception until birth. And then until we are out in the world on our own. So that's what I'd like to be able to offer. And some of the references I'll be bringing in terms of actual documentation. I like to work from Meryl Stone's book, When God Was a Woman. I like to work from a couple of the Great Cosmic Mother and The Great Goddess. These books talk to us about that ancient wisdom, that divine feminine energy. And this is where some of those things that our Umis told us and that wisdom come from. It's old.
Yeah, go ahead, drop that thing.
Look at that.
Yep,
okay, I was saying 3 for the sun. I got 4. Now you know I'm working with something. I like that.
Right. You're working with the numbers, okay?
I like that. I like
numbers.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, now let me say something about that before
I know it.
I'm
about to alley-oop that thing. If you ain't do it, I was going to do it because I know you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I already understand.
I mean, I was going to go back to the title and how in the title we're talking about the wisdom of the mother, and wisdom is that number 2. And we've been talking about all these 2s that are on this screen, and wisdom is 2, and wisdom is symbolic of the woman. And when we take it over from here to Refal to Pranoia, y'all gonna be talking about Sophia. Sophia is the meaning of wisdom there. So I had to connect them dots right there too. And then
absolutely.
Also, yep.
And let's just let it be known that none of these programs were programmed together. Like it wasn't like we sat down and said, let's correlate these programs. They just happened to show up that way because that was what they were supposed to do.
Oh yeah. You know,
that's divine alignment.
Yeah, about to say divine alignment, 2-2-2 alignment. Then we added up 2 + 2 + 2 = 6.
Equality, exactly.
Yep. And then I was also going to bring up the 6 because you mentioned something important about birth and how birth isn't always literal or physical or biological, and how birth can also refer to ideas, and that's what the number 6 the number 6 and 8 represent when you talk about the familial, the romantic and the familial and the home life parts of the 6 and 8. Because with the 6, it's romance first, followed by finance, and then the 8 is the reverse. It's finance followed by romance. But aside from the romantic part, I put in romance in quotes because we know about the etymology of that word and all of that. But that is a family oriented number, and during a number 6 cycle, it can bring about pregnancies, births, weddings, engagements, funerals, just anything dealing with family. And when we say pregnancy, we always have to mention that it's not just literal pregnancy. It could be giving birth to new ideas and new plans, new projects. So that's very interesting that you mentioned that when you were talking about the birth and number 6. Then going back to the supreme numerics, 1 is the man, 2 is the woman, 3 is the child. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, which is the number of family right there. So I just had to point those two things out with the wisdom and with that number 6 and that symbolic birth.
Okay. Let me drop this bomb. I just had to wait my turn. That's why it was my time after your turn. Like, it was literally right there to add on. The sum total of these numbers, Nick, is 42, aka Pretty Nicky, what they call her. Okay?
6.
The sum total of these numbers is 42. Let's deal with 42 real quick. It's one of them grand unifier places, right? But what does it say in the Hebrew? What is it for 42? We know the declarations of innocence misnomered as the 42 negative confessions, right? 42 declarations of innocence. You declare your innocence in those 42 states of the Nile Valley, right? So the declarations of innocence, I have not. Later on, they gave the thou shalt not, right? I have not, right? 42. 42, it is a combination of 40 and 2. So 40 is meme, right? So when Ummi was talking about this meme right there in the midst of the community, right? This is where Ummah comes from. It comes from Ummi, right? So there's no community where mother is not reverenced, or where that community has cut off relations with the wombs that bore it into existence. There is no Ummi. There is no mother there. Okay? So 42, that me, and 2 is Beth. Beth is house. Okay? Beth is house. So if you have this meme and Beth together, this 42, now you have to have a person to watch the house. So the number of the watchman is 42. So who is the watchman that guards the house? God. 42 is God, right? 42 is also man, with the essence of God and man, and the essence of man and God, one being the same, right? So 42. Before we get to the 6, we got the 4 and the 2. We got a couple of ways to get to it, but this is the way that it's being presented via the numbers. and there's no 3, and there's no cipher because it's already understood, right? So what is already understood does not have to be explained. So the 3 is there, or they just ran out of space and was like, I like this typography right here, and I'm gonna just leave it be. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna give them some grace. But the 3 is already understood, right? Because half of 6 is 3 and one of its iterations, right? So understanding is understood. So we deal in inequality, we deal in what things are and not for what they appear to be, right? We deal in that inequality, that other addition of understanding. Understanding is the best part. Understanding is to see things clearly for what they are and not for what they appear to be. So when you understood it twice, you arrive at equality, which enables you to deal equal in all things. So the sum total of the numbers that are displayed here, its sum, because that's the end of the sentence, or the interrogative sort of question. Look, my English teacher is here, so I can't mess this up. You understand what I'm saying? This interrogative sort of question, when you approach this from a mathematical perspective, and my science teacher is here, so I can't mess either one of them up. So if I'm looking at this from this, scientific method sort of position, what's my research question, right? How do I arrive here? You understand? So this interrogative thing, begins with this question, right? So there's a question there, and you have to have an answer. So in order for you to know what mode of operation I need to utilize, I have to be able to read this and deduce what is this problem asking me to do. Sum, right? What is the sum? So if I don't see, any of these other things, and if I can read some, I say, oh, it's asking me to add on. Okay. So I'm gonna add on based off of this sum. What is the product of these two numbers? Oh, now I need to multiply. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start seeing what's being asked of you, you can, properly deduce and go through that process. And if not, you go through the process of elimination to arrive at a particular answer, right? So that question sets you on a pathway to know an answer. They say the why is the question that's commonly asked, daily by the 85% of the population. Why? Why me? And to quote Uptown Saturday Night, Richard Pryor, why not you? Why me, brother? Why not you? Why not you, brother? Yes, I just wanted to add in there, add on a little bit.
And if I could
add that's,
and if I could add a little
42.
more nerdum to that,
yes, ma'am.
Add a little more nerdy to that.
Add some Gotham up in there. You understand what I'm saying? Add some Gotham up in
Yasin
there.
Bey, again, shout out to the brother. He did the movie The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And what was their thing? They was trying to get that question, but in order to get the question, in order to get the answer, you had the right question. And it took them time to compute it. You know what I'm saying? So, let's talk about it now. We can add all of that together. So
there's something I left off my notes. And then the reason why I went to 42. Jackie Robinson wore number 42. You know his birthday? January 31st.
Yep.
Why would I not ever, not know that day, right? So Jackie Robinson was born on the day my mother was born, and Hank Aaron was born on the day that my mother transitioned, February 5th.
Wow.
See that? And that 5 is a power.
Yeah. And
5 is power.
Nick and his crew jumped me and was like, "Hey, you got a 5, you got a 2, you got these numbers with you. You understand what I'm saying?" I was like, "Oh man, for real?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You know who else got them numbers?" I was like, "Who?" It was like Michael Jackson, dummy. I said, "Oh really?" I said, "Oh, this platform is born on the same day as Michael Jackson and my little sister." They was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, all right." So I understood what I need to understand when understanding was made understood.
Hey,
there it is. That's right.
So,
yeah. And that, you know, and that 42 as a compound number, two is half of 4, and all of those even numbers, 4, 2, 6, those are numbers of both healing and balance. So we know and we recognize that as the role of the mother as a healer, and in order for the mother to be in her fullest essence, her, you know, the best she can be, she needs that stability, that number 4, that stability, along with that balance and that duality of that number 2 together, in order to bring about that healing and loving and nurturing energy of the number 6 there.
And we can't forget that with that stability comes an opportunity to study your culture and to be free. You know what I'm saying? Which makes her better at what she do. That makes her wisdom even did give her time. You know what I mean? That's what they steal from us. They steal from us time. Because when we have the time to sit in what our natural spaces, we do what becomes natural.
Exactly, precisely. All right, over here turning into the conscious funk master Flex over here now.
I know.
No, he funky. Ain't nothing funky over here. This is God Master Flex. Okay.
God,
you know,
God
just so we know, it's 11:09, which is still 11.
That's it.
Master number.
That's a light bulb in comparison what it used to be in the old Do the Knowledge radio days on Blog Talk when it was audio. It was like like 20 minutes and it this is the only bomb that I could find. I was looking for that one. So just imagine, okay, it looked like a whole raid, air raid and earth raid and all kind of things blowing up.
Oh, excuse me.
Go back through them archives and you hear a bomb, you're like, you thinking a real bomb didn't happen. You understand what I'm saying? Like something happened for real. They was like, yeah, that's a lot of bombs. I was like, that's a lot of bombs, and then running right back. They was like, what? They don't even get through nothing. Get through nothing.
Dropping the phone and all that.
All that. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I know y'all got a bunch of things going on. So I know this is going to take a little minute to figure out, what's going on, where, how you going to tell what and when. And I'm going to be here on this date. I'm going to be there on this date. I'm going to be here on this date. I'm going to be there on this date, So I'm going to bother you, Queen Mother. Did you do the vending event already? And if you did, please let the family know.
That was last weekend, the 9th, in Pine Island, New York, and unfortunately we got rained out. So I'll be having some of those things that I've had available on that day on the 16th when I'm at Refal. If anybody take a look at some of that.
They wasn't supposed to have it anyway. What they raggedy said. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
But yeah, I tell you like this, everything happens the way it's supposed to. So yes, on the 16th we'll be at Refal. I'm excited to be there during that. But before then, on the 12th, I'll be on Pronoia Starseed Podcast. We'll be doing music for mother. So we'll be playing some music of our mothers. And I was excited about that because my mother talked to us through music. And so, I could have sat down there and gave that young lady 100 songs, but I had to narrow it down. So I'm excited to share the ones that I did. So that'll be on the 12th on Pro Know Your Star Seed podcast on YouTube, 9:30-ish. So we'll figure out when that's gonna start. We'll figure out when we're gonna start, because with Goddess Rael, we don't know what time it's gonna be. So we like that. But and then on the 16th I'll be at Refal, and then on the 21st I'll be back at Pro Noia again, and we will be talking about the goddess Sophia and the return of the great goddess and what it means with her return. And at that time, Unread, our book show, will be offering a free PDF of the book that I'll be sharing from that day. And no, I'm not telling what book it is yet. You better get over there and find out on your own, and maybe you'll get one. So I'm excited about that. And for now, that's all I'd like to share for now. For June, we do have some stuff coming up for Father, but again, we haven't solidified that yet, so I don't want to say when it's going to be until we get an actual date. So right now, that's the May events.
Damn. And tell the people about MaWu Temple before I pass it over.
Oh, yes, thank you. MaWu Temple originally was established in 2000, but we went on paper in 2006 when we had the temple raising in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was an awesome opportunity to raise a temple and dedicate it to the upliftment of fallen humanity. We do a lot of human rights work in terms of educating people about their human rights. We have talks on morals, virtues, and things like that. And we'll have actually one of those talks coming up on the 18th. As a matter of fact, you just reminded me about that. That'll be at 7 o'clock on Zoom. Have to get that flyer over to you to share. But yeah, so that was what our original thing was. And we were establishment. We decided that we wanted to be a sanctuary for healers, because what was going on is at the time, a lot of the healers we were working with were burnt out and they had no one to go to. So we wanted to put something into place, a safe space for them to be able to go to. And we started doing retreats. And then when I transitioned everything to upstate New York, we had a physical location. And then during the pandemic, we lost that physical location. And so right now we are looking for a new base, a new home. And we're not sure where it's going to be yet. So I'm excited about that. But yes, dedicated to the upliftment of fallen humanity. We love the community. We talk about intergenerational connections and the importance of those, and moving forward, and what it would look like if we would embrace that fully as a people. Thank you.
And tell her where to find you on the socials, okay?
Yes,
on
Instagram. On Instagram, you can find me at MaWu Temple 1. Gmail, you can MaWuLisaTemple@gmail.com. YouTube is MaWuLiza, MaWuLiza 4610. And yeah, just or if you just say hooty hoo, you might be able to get the echo off the mountain and I can hear you and I'll reach back out.
Yeah. All right.
Shout out to the Brick City.
Brick City.
Indeed.
Mr. Westbrook.
All right.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
No, all the other AKAs that you done came up with. You got a whole.
I gotta save something for Wednesday. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna see you again on Wednesday. So you know what I'm saying. Two more days. You know what I'm saying. Save some AKAs for 2 more days. You know what I'm saying.
Okay, well let's set it off for with Wednesday then. I gotta look these days. I gotta bring up the calendar. Look at all that blue on that calendar.
Booked and busy, baby. Booked and busy.
Yes. today's the 11th, and you know, while y'all was talking, I caught that screenshot on my phone of it being 11/11 on May 11th, and my phone battery at 92%. I got
Hey.
but you know, of course we got today. We here today. Then this Wednesday, May 13th, we going from Do the Knowledge Radio back over to the Killer Priest Podcraft for what's the Wednesday joint called again? It's
Royal Priesthood Wednesday.
That's what Royal Priesthood Wednesdays. Yes. Royal Priesthood Wednesdays. Oh, Dreams, Dollars, and Destiny is on tour right now. We are on the media tour right now. So we were on Do the Knowledge Radio last week. This Wednesday, May 13th, we will be on the Killer Priest Podcraft for Royal Priest Wednesdays. Just to promote the show, let the family know what we'll be offering and bringing with this new program. As a matter of fact, episode 5 just dropped a few hours ago, about 3 hours ago. Episode 5 dropped, and that episode is dealing with surviving and thriving in this current economy. And then, of course, May 16th, that's what this whole live stream was about. So y'all already know about May 16th. If you're in the tri-state area, mid-Atlantic region, even if you're not, if you feeling frisky and you want to jump on a flight and come all the way to New Jersey, hey, go for it.
Yes.
But so that's the 16th. And then the next day on the 17th, the Triple D Dreams, Dollars, and Destiny promo tour continues with Big E Astrology. So go head over to YouTube, type in Big E Astrology on YouTube. We'll be over there promoting that with of course with the numbers, but since my man Eric is the astrologist, the master astrologist, you know he's going to add a little razzle dazzle with the big 3 and the conjunctions and all of that. So we got that. And then let me see. May 28th, myself and Knowledge Bond, once again. Once again, we might as well just call ourselves co-hosts at this point, because it's no longer guest anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be on Pranoia Starseed podcast, and that's Big E Astrology right there. Yep, that's where we'll be on the 17th. And then on the 28th, Pranoia Starseed podcast. That Big E Astrology show, that's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Pranoia Starseed podcast, you know how the time works with the goddess Rael, 9:30-ish on the 28th.
Yeah.
And then May 30th, we're back with Unread Book Review with Nick and Roo, and you can find that on Mr. Westbrooks' class on YouTube. And you can find all of my socials: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Cash App, if you want to drop a little something in the donation bucket, in the collection plate. That's there too.
Yes.
But everything is in that central location of Linktree / Mr. Westbrooks, MRWESTBROOKS. And that is the month of May. And as we get closer to the end of May, I'll start giving y'all some dates for June, but I don't want to overload y'all because we got a lot packed for the rest of May, and we already halfway through May.
Look, Nick, I want to jump back in and say, don't forget the 18th, 7 p.m. Zoom.
Oh, yes.
Doing Unmasking Morality. Unmasking Morality.
See, I forgot about, it wasn't on here. See, I got to go in here and add that on here now. Unmasking Morality Part 3.
Yes.
7 p.m. Eastern
Bam.
time. Yeah, put that on the calendar right now.
On Zoom. And then the last one is in June, and we'll be finished for the season until December.
Yeah.
Yo, got just add another blue line in there. On the calendar.
Blue line. Yeah.
Booked and busy. I love it.
Real.
That's what
We
it
drop a
is.
bomb for being
11:22.
booked and busy. Yeah. 11:22. Before we leave, send a shout out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. His birthday is today. You know what I'm saying? Born on one of the master numbers. You understand what I'm saying? You know, 8 days before Al Hajj Malik Al surprise brother Wali, affectionately known to the world, Minister Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? So those numberings be numberizing on your number line. Understand what I'm saying? So yeah. I want to give y'all the greatest salute, the greatest honor, the greatest love for coming through. You understand what I'm saying? On a school night. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all educators and motivators and inspirers and being up, you know, past your bedtime. It felt paranoia-ish. Okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all. Okay, it's not paranoia. It felt paranoia-ish. You understand what I'm saying? We was over here for a minute, you know, doing what we do, and I know both of y'all got to find a word for us before we depart, because in like 10 minutes I'm gonna be live again, talking about this talk in in accordance with the other talk. So no, y'all gotta find a word for the fam.
Got one, Nick. I got one. Mine is just, continue to seek, continue to be open, continue to share, embrace forgiveness of yourself and others, and love one another. We truly don't know what it is to love until we do. So keep on loving until you feel and know that it's right and exact. In Islam, we call it fisabilillah, just for the sake of loving you, just for the sake of loving Allah. And this is what we should be striving to do. And when we strive to be the best version of ourselves, we can't help but love everybody fisabilillah, because we realize that we was all or could all be each person at any time had we took a different step on the path, this thing we call life. So there's lessons to be learned. Be open to learning them, embrace change, and just know that victory is already yours. You just have to claim it.
Going for the record tonight.
What?
You know, she bringing it, so I gotta meet it. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank
you. Absolutely.
Mr. Westbrook, aka Pretty Nikki with the collar.
Pretty
Did you mention the fashion show? Did you mention you're gonna be on the runway? You ain't told us about that. It ain't on the calendar no more. What happened?
I mean, it's in the calendar for June. I just gave y'all the rest to say. I didn't want to overwhelm the people with all of the events going on.
They need to be at in June with all, and bring their money with them. Okay, don't leave it at home. Have it on you.
Yeah. Then also, my the Queen Mother, she be cutting up. So that's the other reason why I didn't mention it either.
I got my tickets, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
I got my tickets and my singles.
Hey.
And of course, of course, the numbers wouldn't number if the date for this fashion show wasn't on the 6th of June, June 6th, and we've just been talking about the number 6.
Yeah,
but, you know, June 6th,
2026. 2026. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that 4 jumped right in there with that 6, right?
Right.
Them 2s and that 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we setting it off for the Knowledge Born Allah Solar Return celebration.
Yeah.
Newark Board of Education Fashion Show, June 6th, 2026.
Yeah.
All models, Newark Board of Education employees and high school students, all outfits, created and designed by high school students of the Newark School of Fashion and Design. So shout outs to them. Ticket information, reach out to me. If you can't make it in person, but you would still like to support, you can purchase a ticket and donate it to someone who would like to attend. You know, so just reach out to me for that information, and I will share it with you. It's 2 shows on June 6th. There's a 12 o'clock show, 12 noon show, and a 6 p.m. show. I'm giving y'all the double header.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Double houses. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's right. So my final words, my closing words is that one of my AKAs, I'll give him another AKA, just one.
Break it down for him.
AKA Supreme Numerics, which is my numerology offering, whether that's in the spirit of astro numerology, coined by my colleague and my elder Lloyd Strayhorn, and also numerovation, which is the combination of numerology and motivation, coined by King Simon. The meaning and purpose of Supreme Numerics is the practical and proper study of numerology used to activate your personal power in abundance. So everything that we're doing, everything that we've been talking about this evening, and all of our programs from Supreme Numerics to the Healing Chambers to Unread Book Review to Pronoia Star Seed Podcast, it's all about activating your personal power and your abundance. This specifically with the numbers. So that's the message I want to leave with you all, is to continue striving to become the best version of yourself, no matter what vehicle you choose to use, whether it's numerology, astrology, the power of the mind, human design, whatever it is, continue on that path. And send you off with the benediction. May the Creator and the spirit of the ancestors show you favor and keep you. May they smile down on you and be kind to you. And may they be pleased with you and give you peace of mind. Peace.
I say. Oh.
What's the benediction? We up out of here, y'all. See y'all in 10 minutes.
Okay, it's your mother. I'm just calling, checking to see if you got home safe, son. Give me a call so I won't worry. Love you. Bye.
I woke up out of a good night's sleep and slipped right into a daydream that may seem like a lifetime. Then the night rewind to this light shine upon my face as I awake to daydreaming, to chase demons, way to the evening till I'm sleeping. Then I awake freezing, I start screaming. It's late, sharp breathing, my heart still beating. Running through the pocket patch, thunderclap, lightning, rain, rivers running from the gaps, valleys, plains, hills, cornfields, the sun and path, running back above the map. Is this sleep deprivation, or am I on deep medication? Am I meditating till I'm asleep, but I keep awakening? I'm searching for the requiem inside my mind's aquariums, trying to break free from this lucid entrapment, using music as my blueprint for magic, my inception to my insurrection for madness. Blessed be priest message, each record's a classic. Pray there's no wreckage when her spirit exit the casket. I called her mommy till she's wrapped like a mummy. My first spaceship was her tummy. I ate what she ate when I'm hungry. Humbled, my arms crumbled as the greats was taking her from me. I shook like a quake, her spirit lift like a ship from a lake. Comfortably, when they come for me, I'ma embrace the entire space, the sun and sea. Then shout, Mom, you did great. Wonderfully, I came from the thunder inside your belly, healthy with 1 or 2 teeth. You taught me to speak, then God told me to preach, and gave me a sword for his head. I'ma take hold of the beast. Soon as your soul release, I'ma let go of peace. Now I'm ready for the war that was shown to me. I'm the devil's hunter, that's the spirit I'm under. I'ma chase you to nightfall, to the sun up, to break the chains of asunder. I have insomnia, on my way to the Andromeda. Study the planets like an astronomer. Interstellar, I'm telling with the elders from South America. I'm 51, am I familiar with that area? I'm with the healers when I wrote Rocket to Nebula. My veins are filled with the ancestors' blood, and I'm a replica of the messenger. When it rains, it's just a flood to cover the plains from something high-tech above. The unexplained, the sun is my main. I'm unreachable, untamed, unspeakable, unchanged. I remain the same. Only see growth through my deep quotes. Tell Thoth I'm in deep thought. I could break a bill if they free range. My mother's initials on God's keychain. Storm bills, cornfields, chasing up the Laurel Hill. I'll get at the sworn deals, born skills. Wintertime, warm meals. My mother's gone, I'm on still. Waking up the morning chills. Peer to a dimension fillers to filters. Of spirits for healers. To becoming wireless into splitters. To deliver. You begin losing signal, they're little. Into crystals. In the middle. Behind the moon's gateway. In the shape of an egg. No more naysayers as you're going through the lunar haze. Face plates. Infinity in the 8 shaped. The time is wintry, you see the gray 8. Then turn to the grave and say, where's your debate? For this is fate. I start unplugging, debugging. Before my transition, make man see woman. Then plant myself into the seed before the bee coming. I'm still in the cornfield running. Interstellar, Cinderella, said Cinderfella. I transcend from the nebula. This is the end of an era. I wish you good luck in all your endeavors. Release the pressure, the depressor. Then read the letters. Encounter us without seeing the body. Like you emailed us. Delightful that it's not when you contact us, it's when we write you back. I used to watch continents fall just by my chi energy alone. I never used stone. I destroy cities by using cotton balls and big pillars of silken clouds. I watched their towers go down like a comet hit their walls, then smash their buildings with fog. That is all. The post verse. Trying to phone home, picking up ETs on the main line. After I crash, I'm experiencing amnesia and deja vu at the same time. And an unexpected close encounter of the 5th kind. The Akashic Records, Book of Revelations, we experience the 6th sign. What the prophets predict, shift paradigms. Do we believe in the tarots or their minds? The man that travels through the shadows till he shines. Factual, they don't attack you, they attack the genes. My black queen took the vaccine. They blaspheme, ask Tutankhamun, they get curses when you unmask kings. Martin Luther and his one last dream. Riding bikes, climbing heights, whiny heights, flying kites. Lighting pipes, Mayan sights, driving pikes. Find a blinding light, road at night, motorbike. Roller coaster sight, closer bright, poltergeist.
Okay, it's your mother. I'm just calling, checking to see if you got home safe, son. Give me a call so I won't worry. Love you. Bye.
Message saved.